Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Winback, and on today's episode of Heroes of the Storm in our A through Z playthrough, we're going to be playing Kerrigan, who is by and large a lot of people's favorite character and is usually perceived as one of the biggest playmakers in the game if you don't suck at her. So, we're going to try to do just the opposite of that, the sucking part. I hope. Anyway, it's a YouTube video. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe your heart out. My voice is a little bit patchy today, so my apologies. I think it might have been pretty bad on the last video as well, so if you cannot hear me, I am sorry. My voice box is strained, to say the least. Now, the whole of existence with Kerrigan is pretty... It's pretty offensive. You have to go in, you have to do damage, and you have to make sure that you continue doing damage to stay alive because the character has very little escape potential. It's there, it is definitely possible, but it is also really difficult to do. So, if you're not familiar with Kerrigan, the build that we're going to be ripping today is Fury of the Swarm at 1. We're going to take Sharpened Blades at 4. 7 will be Boundless Fury. Ultralisk is going to be our level 10, 13 will be Chrysalis, 16 is going to be Mounting Potency, and then 20 will be the Thorask. So, you might be asking yourself about that level 20 talent, but we'll get to that, I promise. I will make a mental note to talk about Thorask, because it's going to be fun. Now, Kerrigan's abilities are all fairly simple, but she is a combo character, so if you are not good at landing your abilities with this hero, you need to practice, 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 practice. And I would say, on terms of difficulty and effectiveness of this hero, you're looking at Maiev levels of difficulty and even more difficult time to deal significant damage, make significant plays, and be as impactful as a Maiev is. So Kerrigan is really, 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 really strong in very small windows. So your Q is your biggest form of mobility and also your easiest form of point-and-click damage. Ravage is going to let you point-and-click hop on a target, be it a minion, a hero, a building, whatever, and you are going to deal some damage once you land, which is going to build into your trait. Now, your trait we'll talk about in a second because it's really important for Kerrigan's kit, but as far as the Ravage itself goes, you get 2 charges. You hop to a person, and then you can hop to another one if you need to get out, or if you need to just quickly set yourself somewhere else. The other cool thing about Ravage is that it is your main form of wave clear, because using Ravage to kill anything will reset the cooldown of Ravage and refund the mana cost. So that is the main form of wave clear for Kerrigan, coupled with her auto attacks with our level 1 talent, Fury of the Swarm. So, all that being said, don't ever let anyone tell you that you can't clear waves with Kerrigan. You can offlane with this character if you really are forced to, but typically you want to be using her to check rotations, gank people, get kills, make fun things happen. Just Johanna taking all of the damage in the bush, and we are going to bait the fuck out of that Zul'jin with a combo, sending him off to troll heaven. Now, I don't know why, particularly, my Johanna is deciding she's going to be the offlaner. I think it's dumb, because the tank needs to be with the team. But there's no accounting for sensibility in quick match, so we're just going to have to play around the fact that this person wants to sit in the bottom lane and fight the Zul'jin, which is wrong. It's wrong. That's all I'm going to say about that. So, back to Kerrigan. Your W is your Impaling Blades. After 1.25 seconds worth of delay, the blades are going to shoot up out of the ground, deal a whole bunch of damage in an AoE, and they are going to stun for 1 full second. It is ooh, you can't back there, buddy. And you definitely can't get away with that little health. That ragdoll was fantastic. Just another reason that Kerrigan is perfect for rotations, perfect for ganking, perfect for showing up at the exact right moment and killing low health people. I mean, that's kind of what melee assassins do, period, but very, very flashy and fun to look at while it's happening. I love it. Now, your E button is going to combo with your W, and the reason I'm going to talk about these two specifically as it's like they're one ability, really. You need to hit your W and your E at the same time, but you have to hit your W first in order to get the E pull into the W as it is rising up out of the ground. And the best way to do that is to put your W in between yourself and the target, and then at that point, your E will drag them back the distance it needs to. The best way to hit the point blank, or the melee range heroes, if you have like a Diablo on your face or something to that effect, you want to put the impaling blades closer to yourself. Man, Jaina is just not having a good game. So basically, you can hit Alt W if you are in melee range and then hit the E, and they'll be pulled into the W. But if they are at maximum range or they're running from you, you want to put the W closer to the target so they get dragged. The drag on the E is always going to be the same distance, but it, I don't know. You have to get a feel for it. You have to get a definite feel for it. I'm going to go ahead and drop the Ultralisk directly onto Nazebo's octograbbed face and delete that man from existence. Now the buildings are going to go down as well because Ultra just needs something to do, and the well is next on the menu. My god, we are just Zerg rushing this map, and if that doesn't make thematic sense to everybody, go play StarCraft. It's fun. I promise. It's good. Now, Psionic Grasp, your E button, also has a secondary component to it. This got changed with Kerrigan's rework, which was really helpful because the ability stupidly just kind of worthless prior to this. It was only used for comboing, and that's it. But now, it has a small explosion afterwards, so it takes 2.5 seconds for the ability to explode, but every time you use your E, you get a big shockwave of damage around that in an AoE. So that means anybody who gets pulled in by your combo should also get hit by your explosion from the Psionic Grasp. Is it Primal or Psionic? It's Primal. Primal Grasp. And the explosion will also help you do damage in an AoE for your trait. So, wow, getting pulled in, octograbbed, and just fucked in the bush. And that is not a good way to go. Damn. Let's take a look at how many deaths the Jaina has. 3 at this moment. Yikes. Anyway, so your trait is called Assimilation. We're going to get 10% of the damage dealt from basic attacks and abilities as a shield for 6 seconds. And I don't think I need to tell you, but AoE damage in burst form from your W, your E explosion, and even your Q is ridiculous amounts of shielding. Mainly because they can hit multiple heroes. You can set up really, really big multi-hero engages and get lots of shielding. So it makes Kerrigan ultra fucking tanky when she goes in, and your ultimate is also going to be doing that, which makes Maelstrom really, really good for keeping Kerrigan alive when diving into big clumps of heroes. So all that said, Assimilation is something that you need to be aware of. If you're not hitting abilities, if you're not hitting autos, if you're not hitting ultimates with Kerrigan, you're missing out on not only damage, but survivability. So if you don't have those things, you need to get really good at doing them or give up on this character, because you will die. You will die trying to make cool plays, and that's just something that makes everybody really unhappy. It's going to make you unhappy. It's going to make your team unhappy. Enemy team will probably love you for it, but, you know, be the you that you want to be. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, all that being said, it's a melee assassin thing. It's a Kerrigan thing. She's tanky, she's strong, she's ganky. It's going to be a fun time for you, I promise. Jesus Christ, all these squishy little fuckers hanging out in the middle of the lane like they can just not expect me to come and shove all of my Zerg blades into their nose. Was that a graphic image? I apologize. I may or may not have been watching a couple horror movies in the science fiction genre, and there are imageries that, well, they'll take you down a dark path. But Kerrigan, again, I hope that anybody looking at this video, wow, that fucking spell block from the Lunara. Just, I see your Pyroblast, I raise you a greater spell shield, and the Pyroblast literally did less than 100 damage. My god. Fucking disgusting. Now, the talents for Kerrigan that are worth mentioning are always going to be your Boundless Fury, ooh, your Chrysalis, ooh. We just gotta dodge all of this AoE damage. Turns out things are gonna be a little bit rough for us here, so we've gotta hit the Chrysalis to go into the ice block. Can we get out and get the Zul'jin, at least for the trade? Nailed it. Gave the enemy team a nuke, which is a little bit upsetting, but we still got a 2-level lead, and fuck it. I got a bunch of stacks for that too, so I think it's completely worth it. Ooh. And my friendlies are going to come by, drive by that Jaina, and make me feel all the better while my Johanna is pushing this stupid bottom lane like she's some sort of murky or I don't know. Oh. It's okay. I'm having a really, really fucking good game, so the fact that this other person is playing really terribly is offset by that. Thank God. Now the only thing to really worry about is Nazeebo hitting 20 with Vile Infection. I mean, if they make it that far. Zul'jin didn't take Tazdango, so he's not really a threat either. Yeah, things are going to be okay for us, I believe. Now, so your Boundless Fury is going to be basically a free Ravage on every hero one time. And then after that, it's going to start taking the charges of Ravage. So if you hit one hero, that's a free Ravage. You can jump to another hero, get another free Ravage. You can basically jump to all 5 heroes, get a free Ravage, all that free damage, all that free shielding, and then you still have 2 left. So, not necessarily that you're going to do that a lot, but that means that if you need to, you can hit 3 Ravages on one target and blow them to pieces. Ooh! He apocalypsed to get him out, but we're going to Chrysalis through the apocalypse, and we are going to show this Zul'jin our Ultralisk as we miss the stun completely. If I didn't mention it, Ultralisk is the reason that we're taking Ultralisk specifically is because that dash stun to lock a target in place. Since they're all so fucking squishy and easy to kill anyway, taking Maelstrom is less good because there's less melee heroes on the enemy team, less clumping that's going to happen for us to get a lot of damage out of Maelstrom. So Ultralisk is just a better form of pick potential for us as this character to just delete squishies from the map. It's really, really, really strong with that stun, and it's also really good for pushing afterwards because it's just a huge ball of AoE auto attack damage, and I love it. It is adorable. I think it deserves many, many treats, and all the pats, all the love, because Ultras are fucking amazing. Best Zerg unit, bar none. But right, Boundless Fury, it's basically 3 free, or it's 1 free plus 2, so 3 total Ravages on one target, meaning that you can deal a shitload of burst damage with this ability as well. It's 285, so you're basically 300 damage with 1 Q. Dealing 600 with 3 is nuts, especially when you're looking at squishy health bars on Jaina, KT, and Zul'jin. I mean, people fucking pop. Now, your other big talent, Chrysalis, it's much better now. It wasn't always the go-to pick because you couldn't cancel it, but now it's a more effective ice block. You also heal for a percentage of your health when you're in it, but since you can cancel it these days, it's much less important that you stick out the whole duration. It's really, really, really fucking good. That being said, we used to take Volatile Power a lot more for the increased Assimilation shields, but I don't think you can do that with the way that Chrysalis works any longer. Unless you are in a specific, you know, team comp and you have people working with you on going in. But even then, I mean, Chrysalis just helps you dodge so much. I'm never going to get Pyroblasted. I can dodge Apocalypse. I can dodge whatever dumb bullshit Jaina has if I need to. It's just such a good talent. Doesn't make you completely invincible, but it does take you out of play for dodging those big enemy engages. Now we've got that level 20 talent, we have got the Thorask going. This is basically going to turn Kerrigan into a Kerrigan plus a Viking. Because Ultralisk is doing so much AoE damage, and he is basically living forever with the, he comes back to life. What the fuck? The resurrection. There we go. I knew it was an R word. I had it. It's early. My brain hurts. But your Thorask is going to increase both health and basic attack damage by 20%. And then when it dies, when the timer runs out, it's going to turn into an egg and then come back to life with full health after that and continue to do whatever you're telling it. So unless that egg is killed, the enemy team will have to deal with your Ultralisk splitting a pushed lane. The only downside to this talent, the 100% only bad thing about Thorask, is that you don't get the stun engage off of your ultimate anymore, which is a little bit sad. I wish that the devs would, you know, do something about that, but whatever. I guess they think that this is somehow balancing it with its split push power. You're getting rid of the, I don't know. It is very, very, very good at keeping Mac pressure going, though. You can see it's just shoving minions all sorts of into the top lane here while we kill people on the bottom side with these clumped up people. Like, it's just nuts how much fun and strong that I think that secondary presence for Kerrigan can be. So I like it. It's like playing the Vikings without all the pain and anguish of playing the Vikings. It's nuts. So your other talents for Kerrigan, they're all pretty important still. I mean, Kerrigan doesn't have a whole lot of build diversity, I think. Your questing talent, your level 4 talent, the Sharpened Blades, is going to make sure that Ravage is going to deal enough bonus damage that all 3 of those charges from Boundless Fury can, you know, eviscerate one target. See how much bonus damage it actually is. So it's going to do a total of 125 extra damage once you complete the quest, and considering that we're at 308, that's about 440 extra damage. It's pretty nuts. And considering that you can do that 3 times, like, people die. And then other talents as well. Your Fury of the Swarm's pretty important just for wave clear, because when you Q something, your auto attacks are now going to do an AoE, which makes your minions easier to kill with your Ravage for getting the mana back and the cooldown back. It's just, you need it. You have to have it for the wave clear, even if it is a fucking boring ass talent. How the fuck? Okay. Whatever, Lunara, you can have it. I saw you block that one Pyroblast. You did a good job, so I'll give it to you. But anyway, the talents again for Kerrigan are going to be Fury of the Swarm, Sharpened Blades, Boundless Fury, Summon Ultralisk, Chrysalis at 13, 16 is going to be Mounting Potency, and Thorask at 20. Mounting Potency is just going to let you get more spell power to do more damage with Ravage. I mean, that's really what it's about. And then it also helps your other abilities do damage too, but really Ravage is your main point and click. Chase him down, kill him, and then get on with your life. It's good stuff. 12 and 1 on the day, but not a whole lot of damage to show for it. Just showing up, stabbing people with Zerg blades, and going back on our way. 31,000 shielding, though. That's pretty nuts. Good stuff. Yeah. Anyway, that is it for this video. The build there, again, in case you need it. I am out. We'll be back next week to... You know what? I think there's a couple very difficult characters coming up very soon. So we'll see how those go. But stay tuned. I'll be back. We're about halfway through the playthrough. Hopefully it gets better from here. No, you know what? This was good. This was good. This was a high point. Save this one in your memory banks. I'll see you next time.